I will discuss a very important machine learning algorithm. The name of the algorithm is Bayes algorithm. The concept of this algorithm is based on Bayesian theorem, which is related to probability. So first we will see why this algorithm is useful in solving machine learning problems, and then we will see one application of Bayes algorithm. We can use this algorithm in solving classification problem. So why Bayes is useful in solving classification problem? So when I saw this algorithm first time, I was wondering why a probability-based algorithm is useful in solving classification problem. When I saw Bayes theorem carefully, I could find the answer. I will show you. So according to Bayes theorem, this theorem is basically related to conditional probability theorem. So if you want to identify what is the chances of occurring A when B has already appeared, so for that you need to identify these things. So PB by A is a conditional probability, means this says what is the probability of B when A has already occurred, right? Into PA divided by PB. So if you know all these things, you can identify PA by B. So this algorithm is very useful in solving classification problems, because in classification problems we have some training instances, like, okay, so we have some information, like we have some input attributes, and for those we know the actual class, right? So from those 14 training instances, or whatever in training instances we have, we can identify this PB by A, PA, and PB. So if you know these things, you can easily identify the chances of, means what will be the class on a particular instance. So that's why this algorithm is useful in solving classification problems. Let us discuss it more. So in classification problem, we want to identify the correct class for a given input values, right? So now you can see that prediction is done on the basis of some data which has already appeared, right? So similar kind of data has already appeared, and you know what are those classes, correct classes. So from that data, so that will help you, like, in calculating PB by A. So you have several data tag values. From those you can identify what will be the value of PB by A. So from that given data, we can identify the probability of different classes, and also can see how input attributes are contributing in defining those classes. So this we call as PB by A, and probability of PB and PA are, let us suppose B and A are different classes, the probability of classes, so we can identify it. Since we have everything now, we can use Bayes theorem. That's why this concept is useful. So let us see this one. So here you can see we have 14 data items for which some values are given, and we know the correct classes, right? So we want to know what will be the correct class for this one. So it means this has already appeared, and you want to identify the correct class. So this is P A by B. So you want to identify the correct class when B is given, right? Is it okay? Now you can see, so you can predict the value of this one if you know how this value is affecting the class's values. Means you need to calculate PB by A. So that can be done easily. We can use naive Bayes algorithm. Naive Bayes means we are assuming that all inputs are independent, actually. All inputs are independent, so we can calculate the probability, conditional probability of appearing any value when its class is already decided. We can define those values easily. So let us see. So this table contains database in which there are two classes, yes or no. Each input contains some attribute values. For this table, we can calculate PS means how many years divided by how many data values. So it will be 9 by 14, you can see. P no means how many. So these are the two classes, yes. So you can identify by 5 by 14. Now from the data set, we will identify the conditional probability. Why we want to identify the conditional probability? We want to see in how many yes, how many values are yes when the value is sunny. So this is conditional probability, and we can identify this value, right? So for each class value, we will see how this is related to the input values. So for example, here you can see yes is appearing 9 times. Out of those, Sunny is appearing 2 times. So this will be conditional probability will be 2 by 9. So why we want to calculate this one? Because ultimately we want to identify the correct class of this one. So this is just reverse, right? Similarly, we can identify the value of P Sunny by no. When the value is no, what will be the probability of occurring Sunny? Similarly, we can identify the other probabilities. Why we are calculating this one? Because when you want to calculate the correct class for this one, for the given data, this data is rain, high and big. You can supply, you can use that particular formula. So you can see this one. P yes. What will be the chances of class yes when rain, high and big has already appeared? So this is PA by B. So this is just reverse PB by A, right? So we can simply write this if values are independent, P rain by S into P high by S into P big by S into PS, right? Because A, B, we are assuming that we want to identify this value for only one instance, lower value will be 1. Similarly, what will be the chances of the chance, what will be the chances of class no when this value will occur? So we can calculate from this one. So from the given formula, we can identify the chances of yes and chances of no. So from this, you can see this value is bigger. So the correct class of this instance will be yes. So how simple algorithm is this one? This is called as name based because we are assuming that input values are independent of each other. But in real life, there might be some dependency between input values, right? So you can see this is simple because why we are using this one, because this here we want to identify the class given the value of instance is given, and from the table we can infer that how many, like how the values are related to the class. We already have some values from which we can identify this one. So how simple algorithm is this one, you can see. So you can apply this algorithm in solving many problems, and this is really very important algorithm, and you can see how the probability related algorithm is useful in designing machine learning problem. I hope you will find this presentation is interesting. Thank you very much.